Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Droid Life Show, episode 30 tonight. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, as always, Tim and Eric, with Dave cutting in and out. Everybody say hi real quick.
Wait, hold on. There we go. Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here.
Hello, hello.
There's Dave, sort of. I thought we were having like ultimate technical difficulties there for a second, but we're good. I think we're good now. So welcome back after a week off. Last week being 4th of July, we took a little vacation. Hopefully you guys all did too. Had some time to relax, light off some fireworks, enjoy yourselves. Hopefully you remain safe. But anyway, since we took a week off, we got a lot to talk about. Last week happened to be like the Moto X extravaganza on Wednesday. So we're going to just open up with that, and then we'll sort of filter down. We got Droid Ultra and Max stuff to talk about. T-Mobile had a big event today. The LG G2 looks damn sexy. We've got Google Play Edition phones in-house. Bootloaders are being locked all over the place. The new Google Maps is out. All kinds of stuff, right? So, but let's just start with the Moto X, because, well, anyways, so last week, like early last week, or maybe it was Tuesday, I think Ad Age got Motorola's new ad, which was going to be a full-page newspaper ad that was going to go in like the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and all these big newspapers. And it essentially confirmed that the phone will be customizable. To what level, we're not fully sure yet. But so that first came out. And then Wednesday, the ad dropped, and then like it just opened up this like wave of stuff. And Tim, you were kind of covering it all, but we got, let's see, what did we get? Colored backs all over the place, like neon greens and purples and all kinds of stuff. Potentially custom engraving for phones, and then possibly the opportunity to like submit your own wallpaper and have it like preloaded on the device when you get it, which is kind of dumb because you can do that anyway. But some people might not know. Yeah. But the colored backs look cool. We don't think it's going to be like customize the processor or anything crazy like that. Like the hardware is probably going to be set. It's just going to be the look, right?
Yeah, no internals is what pretty much all the fingers are pointing to as of right now.
Okay. So we got confirmation on some sort of customization. We know that it's going to be backs and all that stuff. Probably a website that you'll be able to like pick and choose all the stuff you want. But if you don't want to customize, you can still go into carrier stores and pick out probably like the black and white or just the black or something like that.
Yeah, some pretty uncustomized variants of the device, definitely. Yeah, so I mean, from what we saw, at least through the leaks, there are like a few different colors, and we didn't get any pictures of like engravings or how in-depth that'll be. If it's just going to be like what was on like an iPod where it's like, hi, my name is Jim, or anything like that. So.
Right.
But beyond that, we just know colors, engravings, wallpaper, and that is it.
Okay. And so today, it's still a lot. They're still the first company to really do that. I mean, Apple's been doing engravings, and they've had some colored products, but like preset. This sounds like you're going to be able to choose and mix and match, because you could do the backs, but didn't somebody report that you can do like the front rim of the device too? So you could have a couple of different colors.
Some chassis coloring as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about possibly being able to customize the trim of the device, which is a technical term. But, yeah. I mean, but we haven't seen any pictures to substantiate those claims.
That's true.
So, user beware.
All right, so just an hour ago, the Wall Street Journal posted a story that said Google is going to let Motorola just fork out the cash to advertise this thing, like upwards of 500 milli. And all 4 major carriers, they're going to advertise it like crazy, possibly even overseas a little bit. So I guess that means there's going to be an international variant maybe, or an unlocked variant. I mean, hopefully there is. Hopefully it's like sold through Google Play really cheaply or something. What else did they say? Oh, they said they were limiting the bloatware. And then the rest of it was just kind of stuff we'd already heard, like the customization and stuff. But it feels like we're close, doesn't it? Like the phone's got to be. The leaks are just flying in, yeah.
It's got. I mean, once we get to this level, the floodgates have been open basically on this phone. So once it's announced and once all the details come out, I don't think we're going to be surprised all too much until we get some real confirmation on specs and all that stuff. Beyond that, I mean, this phone is pretty much it's a done deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like to me we're getting a lot of information, but like we said, we haven't seen any pictures. It seems to me like they haven't even got this warehouse space in Texas yet. Like they haven't even started putting them together yet, but we
Well,
have all this information.
we've seen pictures here and there. I mean, I don't know what
But
you
like
mean.
nothing, we haven't seen like the customized stuff, like the stuff that would be running through,
Well,
the
probably because no orders have yet been placed for the customized ones.
Yeah.
That would be a big factor. But then I could see that they would want to make some in order to test the process and all that. But then again, the chances of pictures of those specific test devices being leaked is probably pretty slim. And plus, I mean, Motorola has gotten really good about kind of cutting down, I think, on their leaks and all that. But I think this one's coming from so many different angles that Motorola may just not have that much control over what's being leaked and all that, but who knows? I see what you're saying now. I didn't know if you meant that we had never seen the device.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
I'm excited.
Do
I'm
we know
excited.
for sure? Like, is the Texas plant open? I know they said like we're gonna build or we're gonna assemble it in Texas, but you know if it's because if it's not, like if they haven't started yet, we could be like a couple of months away. I mean, they got to build up
'cause
stock.
I figured that like The Verge or some large site would drive out to the place and be like, "This is where the Moto X is going to be made." And, we'd have like pictures of it and that kind of stuff.
Droid Life road trip. That would be cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm down.
Drive down to Texas.
You heard it here
I mean,
first.
a plant like that could also be pretty like undisclosed and stuff, especially
Yeah,
if they're
that's
still
also
doing,
true.
like if they're still doing hiring. And then again, what type of level of do you need to work at an assembly plant? I mean, this is going to be like Ford, or like a GM plant, where really you don't need like a special degree in engineering to put these phones together. I'm guessing. So who knows? It's just hard to tell, man. But then since it is like built right here in the USA, I also see what you were saying. We should be seeing these phones. But
It's okay.
It's
I
kind
mean,
of cool. Oh, go ahead.
It's to the point where like they'd be hard pressed to be making this stuff up at this point. So.
Right.
Oh yeah, I think we're beyond that.
I don't feel like we're going to be let down in any way. It's just nagging thoughts.
There's always room to be let down.
The whole thing is starting to become more interesting by the day, I feel like. Like it's just well, let's talk about the specs for a second though. You mentioned those. The only rumors we've seen, and part of them are from benchmarks, they show a dual-core Snapdragon S4 Pro clocked at 1.7 gigahertz, which sounds like really mid-range, right? We've heard 2 gig of RAM and this like 10 megapixel camera, which we'll get to in a second too. But over the last couple of days, I think I've heard from like 3 or 4 different sources that kind of just say, I know it says in the benchmarks I'll show this Snapdragon S4 processor, but everyone keeps saying that they're doing something different internally to make it either more efficient or more powerful, or there's something else beyond just that Snapdragon S4 dual core that's powering this. I heard somebody say like there's a core set aside for like notifications and this and this and this. It's like they've broken down the dual core and made it more efficient and controlling. And like it doesn't make that much sense to me, but I feel like when they take the stage, they're going to say like we've totally changed the architecture to work a certain way or something like that. I feel like something's going to happen that I don't know. I don't really know because it doesn't make sense. Like I'm not a chipset guy. I don't really understand how all that works. But I've had at least 2 or 3 people, and I think Taylor Wimberly, who used to own Android and me, he's talked about it being actually like an 8-core phone because they're doing something. And Taylor's been spot on with most of the leaks, but he's even brought up. So they're doing something different internally that I think's going to make it better than what the S4 processor sounds, if that makes sense. We just don't know what that is.
That would be very welcomed, but at the same time, I feel I'm expecting a total gimmick. I mean, we've had companies like NVIDIA say, like just throw out a bunch of cores with like a, the 5th core or whatever, it's like for the power saving and all that stuff. I mean, cores. I mean, I'm not a chipset guy either, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's hard to tell at this point because we haven't really seen much. Like UI spec stuff. We've only seen hardware, which is a real kind of like flip side, I think, to kind of usually how it is. Usually we hear about specs and all that stuff way before we see an actual device. Now it's reverse, and I don't think we actually know what to do with ourselves besides just be excited. Motorola has a lot of stuff coming, so
they do.
Interesting.
So the other thing then that was talked about this week was this clear pixel camera, we're calling it. So a few years ago, Kodak invented something called clear pixel, and it's just supposed to make your pictures awesome. They developed it for smartphones. We never really saw it like evolve or get adopted by anyone. But I thought I heard somebody say that like Motorola bought Kodak patents, and that was maybe one of them. I don't know. Have you guys heard that or not? That could be.
It could have been. Kodak sold off pretty much all their intellectual property a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything specific about Motorola buying it, but it's a very good possibility.
I'm not sure either, but I thought I heard somebody mention that. But anyways, it's supposed to have, I think Ev Leaks talked about it with the Droid Ultra, because it'll probably have the same sensor, that it has like an extra sensor in it that should just help clarity in any environment, better picture taking in general. We're looking at 10 megapixels probably, but the couple people I've talked to that have said they've used the phone said that the pictures are phenomenal. Like they said like it will be the best camera phone on the market, probably until the iPhone 5S comes out. But yeah, everything I've heard says it's going to be awesome. So
the only I remember like just now because you brought it up, but I wrote a story in January of 2012 talking about Kodak patents, and they were trying to thwart off bankruptcy, so they were suing Samsung, and it was about camera stuff, and like there was the one that stands out, electronic camera for initiating capture of still images while previewing motion images. So as if they were you're viewing something, but then also to take a picture at the same time or something like that. I mean, who knows? It doesn't really go into depth of what it is, but
yeah,
Kodak they were definitely working on something. So who knows?
Interesting.
Quite.
But I think that could be one of the big selling points, right? I mean, smartphone cameras, they've gotten better. HTC One's been selling theirs like crazy because of the camera. Galaxy S4 camera's awesome. So if Motorola can somehow one-up each of those, they'll have at least that going for them.
I think that's a good point, actually, you bring up, because so say smartphone cameras are now, in my opinion, like they're too good. All right, for example, 13 megapixel on the Galaxy S4, that's fantastic, except if I'm really what I use my smartphone camera for, say Vine or Instagram.
Right.
Instagram in general, Instagram lowers the resolution of that photo so much that it looks like crap once I've uploaded it and put a filter on, and it looks like crap, like really grainy and just nasty. And so it's as if, you know, the camera is almost too good for the services that are available for the people using the device. I mean, you can definitely, you know, use your camera for other things besides Instagram. I'm hoping you all are, but for me, I'm not. So it kind of hurts me. So, oh well. I mean, first world problems basically, but not much else to say.
My camera's too good for my photo service.
God,
no.
13 megapixel. No.
What am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
But it's one of those areas that you hear, especially when people, you know, talk about this phone being better than that or how good the iPhone is. They talk about the camera, right? They're talking about how great the pictures are on either the iPhone or now it's the, you know, Galaxy S4, and depending on who you are, the HTC One. So if they can create a really, really good industry-leading camera, that's a pretty big selling point that they can use part of that $500 million budget for. So.
You can definitely ride a good camera. If you got some sweet stuff, I mean, HTC did it, and they got 4 megapixels, so just go for it, Moto.
Well, somewhere Samsung is laughing to themselves after the 1 billion or 11. What was the number? 11 million? I can't. The money they spent on marketing last year.
It was billion, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
up in the billions. They're just laughing to themselves. Huh.
But you have to remember that they did that for that's combined, I think, for all of their products. Motorola and Google are apparently doing this just for the Moto X, which is kind of crazy. $500 million just for one phone.
Yeah, 400 million for a single device. I think that should definitely be breaking some type of record. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and if you guys remember at D11 when Dennis Woodside was on stage, he talked about how they have Google backing them, so they don't need to make like a substantial profit off of every device like all these other manufacturers do, because they have like billions in cash just sitting around. So they can spend a ton on marketing, and they can also hopefully charge less for the phone. Although that Wall Street Journal story tonight said that it was probably going to be like $199 on contract, $599 off. I kind of have a hard time believing that, just listening to what Woodside said. Like he said, you know, eventually smartphones will get really cheap because we'll be able to do that. I hope that they'll start at least with this phone and not, you know, go the $199 route. I hope they keep this one affordable. But
as much as I'd like that to be the case, it sounds like there's going to be too much technology packed into this thing to keep the price down.
That could be too. If they're going to really innovate,
Yeah, I mean, you just got to find that right mixture of innovative stuff and price and all that. I mean, hard to say.
Yeah, and Motorola still needs to make some money. I mean, they're not Google, who has like services they make money off of. They need to still probably make some money. So
I would hope so.
Yeah. So that's Moto X. We don't really know when it's coming out. It's still up in the air. It could. Well, let's see. There's a rumor that we could hear something like either today or tomorrow, right? Because there's apparently this like super secret private gathering at the Googleplex that Guy Kawasaki put together and only invited like 20 press or something like that. Yeah, we know nothing about that. Apparently, they all the people going had to sign NDAs, so they won't be able to talk about it anyway. So who knows? I kind of doubt we're going to get an announcement tomorrow, but at this point, we don't really know what Google and Motorola are up to. Yeah. So let's talk more Motorola stuff though. Let's go Droid Ultra, Max, and Mini.
Mini.
Since these have also been everywhere. It was like once the Moto X stuff came out, like all this Droid stuff too. It's like somebody at Motorola was like, okay, we've had it locked up long enough. Press go and let's just release it all. Yeah. So Verizon will get 4 new Motorola devices. They'll get the Moto X because that's going everywhere. And then they're going to get the Droid Ultra, the Droid Max, and the Droid Mini. We're pretty sure those are official names. The Ultra is like last year's Razr HD. The Max is like last year's Max HD. And the Mini is like the Razr M. Essentially, that's how you can kind of categorize them. So they look like those phones from last year, too. They've got Kevlar all over the back. The Ultra will apparently come in white, black, and red. And the Max probably just black. The Mini, we're not really sure, but if we go off last year's Razr M, which came in like 3 or 4 different colors now, I think you can get it like white, black, blue, pink. I don't even know anymore. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. We don't know specs like whatsoever. The only thing we have is Ev Leaks sort of just throwing out there like he expects them to be high end, like could be 1080p, could be a Snapdragon 800, but like none of that is confirmed whatsoever. He's just throwing it out there because he expects them to be high-end devices. So what do you guys think about these phones? I mean, we've got the Moto X coming. Is it hard to care about these new Droid phones? I don't know. I just would love just your opinions in general on everything you've seen.
I'm starting to get the feeling that it's kind of a more of the same that we've seen from just Verizon and Motorola and the Droid brand. It's just kind of like just rehashed. I don't know if it's going to be anything groundbreaking. The Droid M definitely wasn't like groundbreaking or anything, but
it was edge to edge.
It was edge to edge, and that was quite nice. But and the Razr HD, it actually impressed me as a phone, just the way it looked. I do like the phone. It just it doesn't operate very well. And oh man, I didn't even tell you what happened. Okay, so you remember when that Jelly Bean file came out for it, like, and it was completely like unsupported. Basically, if something goes wrong, you're screwed. Something went wrong. I tried to just do like a factory reset right through the stock and all that, and it won't even boot up now. So
really,
I haven't touched my PC to try and like SBF or whatever. I haven't done that for like 2 years. So that phone.
That's still how you do it, by the way. You still use like RSD Lite and you use an SBF file.
My God.
It might not be an SBF, but you use RSD Lite. It's like a new type of file.
Yeah,
they do the same thing.
So yeah, so going beyond the broken HD, I'm excited for these phones. Although I don't want them to just be more of the same. I want them to kind of be a little bit more innovative. I think what's really great are the names. I'm happy that it's not like Razr HD Max Plus or any of that. It's just like it would just be Droid Ultra or Droid Ultra Max. I mean, it's more of the same again in that sense, but it's less is more, I think. So that's good.
Yeah. Eric, what are you thinking about this stuff, all this Droid stuff?
To me, I've just been picturing the Droid was going to be like kind of an offshoot of the Moto X. I don't know. I was going to, like, they were going to use the same technology that they use in the Moto X in the new Droid brand. At least I hope that's how it goes, because if not, that's going to be pretty confusing for Verizon customers who have the, they can choose from the Moto X, or, hey, all these Droid branded phones that aren't as cool. I just hope, whichever one, I've been waiting for the HTC One up until this point, up until the Motorola has started drumming up this hype beast. And now I'm seriously considering getting whichever Motorola phone has the 48-hour battery or whatever. I think that was what it was today or yesterday.
Yeah.
The 48-hour battery life on the
Yep.
Ultra or the Max.
The Max, yeah.
I'd seriously consider looking at that if it's not horrible performing in any way. So.
Yeah, so that was one of the things that came out today. Android Central got a hold of a couple of like advertising storyboards, and the one for the Max said that you can expect like 2-day or 48-hour battery life, which is kind of insane. Tim, what was I thought you saw what last year's was. Was it like
32 hours?
Yeah, so they're saying another 16 hours onto one charge. That's ridiculous.
We'll take
It'd be
it.
awesome. Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, if they could do that, that's insane.
I never had the Max. I know the thing's battery was a total beast, but I mean, I've never tried the whole talk on it for 32 hours straight to test it out. But
yeah,
I could imagine what having a phone that is marketed as having 48 hours of life could possibly be like. I think that'd be pretty amazing.
I think that'd benefit Motorola if they just pushed that really hard. If they were known as the company that had phones that lasted forever on a charge, I think that would be fantastic for them, because the one thing that everybody hates on smartphones is that they're always running out of battery.
I feel like they already kind of have that, though, because with the Max, they've kind of kept that. So, although, why not just cut out the whole Razr Ultra or Razr Ultra Max and just have a Razr Ultra? Because, I mean, the Razr HD and the Razr Max HD were not even that different, like, width-wise or anything. So, I never understood why they're... Exactly. I never understood why there needed to be two devices in the first place. So that has me a little disgruntled. But other than, I mean, whatever. More power to them.
It's got to be for marketing reasons from Verizon's standpoint.
Yeah,
just to have like separate phones, because they can go, this is the Max with crazy battery. But I guess like you're saying, there's no difference other than battery life. So
put all your money into this one device and totally bump it up instead of having to like bump this one or that one. I don't know. It seems like a weird way of doing things, especially if you're going to have a mini of that. So like, is it a mini Max or is it a mini or an Ultra mini or is it an Ultra Max mini?
Well, it's also their way to hit different price points and con you into paying $250 for more battery life and all that stuff.
Get you on that new 2-year deal.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. I think the marketing is going to go, because Verizon's going to have 4 Motorola phones essentially around the same time, right? So I think Verizon's going to spend all of their money on these 3 Droid phones. Like, they're going to have a new Droid campaign. It's going to be loud, obnoxious, like it's been for years.
Droid.
Yeah, and that's what Verizon's going to do. And they're not even going to, like, you probably won't even know that Verizon sells the Moto X because Verizon will never mention it, just like the Galaxy Nexus. But Motorola is going to spend all these millions of dollars going, Moto X, get it everywhere at Verizon, and yada, yada, yada. So Verizon's going to just focus on selling Droid because that's what they can do, and they've done for years successfully. Motorola will be the one promoting the Moto X. So.
Very interesting. I'm pretty excited, just from a smartphone fan point of view, just for what will happen. I mean, it's been like everyone said it's like been a slow year, and just device-wise, I guess you could say. And I mean, now it's like it's coming with a big boom, because I mean, going into Q3 and Q4, we're gonna have a new Nexus device anyways, and tablets and all this stuff. I mean, it's gonna be a fun ending half of the year, I think.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're a smartphone or tech guy, like it's gonna be cool. Yeah, if you think about it, we've got these 4 Motorola devices potentially in the next like 2 or 3 months, all coming out. You've got the just the LG G2, which we'll get into. You've got to have new Nexus devices. We got to have a new Nexus 7 any day now, potentially at the end of the month. Then you've got October and the new like Google event and all whatever they're going to do there. You've got rumors of an HTC One Max or whatever the hell they're calling it. We've got to have a Note 3. I mean, it's going to get crazy in the next like 4 or 5 months. It should be a lot of fun. But
yep, and then new Android to top it off. So
yeah, new Android. Although we still don't know where the hell 4.3 is, but so Droid
Ultra. Need to hold off. They need to hold off on 4.3 and just bring on 5.0. Just bake it all in. That'd be fine with me.
At this point, it seems like
stop the fragmentation.
Yeah, not to get off on that, but they'll probably release 4.3, and then we'll get to 5.0, and all the carriers, they'll just skip 4.3. They'll just go from 4.1 or 4.2 up to 5.0 or whatever. It's probably what's going to happen, because Google won't give them enough time. But wrapping up Ultra stuff, August 8th was one of the release dates posted on one of those ad storyboards for the Ultra, not the Max, so we don't necessarily know. So August 8th, that's only a couple of weeks away or a month away. So we could see one then. Kind of crazy. Yeah, it's going to be wild. So any other thoughts on the Motorola stuff? We'll move out of Moto for a while.
No, bring it on.
Yeah, can't wait to see what they have finally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited just because we need another OEM doing something, right? We've been talking HTC One and Galaxy S4 forever, it feels like. Like, I'm ready for someone to do something cool.
It's been a two-horse race for the past year, so
yeah.
I'm pretty much ready for some welcomed competition.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk a little bit about what T-Mobile did today, because they're continuing to try to shake up the wireless industry. So they had an event in New York, and John Ledger took the stage and proceeded to like trash on AT&T all over, just like he did the last time he took the stage. And I think he even talked a lot of trash about Sprint and a little bit about Verizon, though not as much as the other two. He even like, this is the only thing that pissed me off. Most of it I just thought was cheesy and sort of dumb, and some was funny. But he was like trashing on those like AT&T kid commercials, and I think those things are hilarious. Those like where they're sitting in the preschool or whatever with the kids. That shit's fun. That stuff's funny.
I think it's cute, but it's not funny. Like, it just seems so. It's shallow and pedantic. Like, it's just really, it's boring. Like, I hate commercials. Yeah. I'll be the first one to tell you. Like, a commercial comes on, I'm like mute. I just can't because it's louder than the show I'm watching and all this other subliminal crap going on. I'm over commercials, so I've seen them, but I just don't care for any type of commercial. So
I mean,
I have no comment.
He was hating on the commercials, and I think
he wasn't hating on the kids.
No, not the kids, but the commercials themselves. I mean, I think his idea was more that you can't really explain your point through that kind of medium. You know, which is better, fast or slow? You know. I feel like he had some point, even if he did go at it a little roughly.
Yeah. So anyway, he was kind of, attacking everyone. I'm just looking at, so we wrote up a post that had, and we'll get into the details in a second, but wrote up a post about all the announcements they made, and it's like pushing 200 comments, which I haven't had a chance to go through, but I would assume that means people are excited about it. I don't know, you guys in the chat, just kind of share your thoughts. But so they announced Jump, that's all capitals with an exclamation point, which is... Yeah, it's like a...
Aren't they going to be getting sued by Van Halen or something like that anymore?
Probably.
Seriously. If they do a commercial with Van Halen playing, yeah.
Oh, that would be so legit. That commercial I would watch.
Yeah, so it's called Jump, and I don't really want to call it a subscription service, but it kind of is. You pay $10 a month, but that also gives you, like, I believe, protection for damage, loss, and all that stuff. And once you're in this Jump program for 6 months... then you are able to, it gets kind of confusing, you're able to then upgrade twice a year or within 12 months forever. But you have to be in Jump for 6 months, and then you're able to upgrade twice within a 12-month period. And you could do it like 1 month after another if you wanted to. You don't have to like buy a phone and wait 6 months. So they're allowing you to do that. If you're doing a payment plan, once you like upgrade to a new phone, your old payment plan goes away. It's not like you still have to pay for your previous phone. You just get a new phone with a new payment plan. You can just kind of continue on. So you can potentially get new phones all the time, and you pay the new customer pricing, which is usually like $99 down or whatever. So it's kind of an innovative thing. They called it revolutionary. I'm not kidding. They actually called it revolutionary. So it's kind of an interesting idea, though, especially, and Ledger pointed out that, they're going this route, giving you 2 upgrades every 12 months, while at the same time AT&T and Verizon just bumped their upgrades up to full 24 months when they were at 20. So that was sort of an interesting point. They also announced that they've lit up their 116th LTE market, and they brought Carly back on stage in her little leather outfits and started lighting up all kinds of stuff. I think Ledger even made some like really sexist remarks about her like towards the end, but anyways,
how was it sexist? I mean, you mentioned that, and I didn't really understand what would be so sexist about it.
So he essentially goes.
He said she knows the drinks are free, so don't anyone offer to buy her a drink. That's funny.
Yeah, but right before that, he goes. So Carly's not he basically said like she's not just like a dumb girl is what he was saying. He goes, she's not what she is on the surface. She's actually really like knows her stuff. He said something really weird.
I didn't even hear that part.
Yeah, he said it right before the drink thing. He said like Carly's not, he basically was saying she's not just what you think she is, a pretty face. She's actually like really smart, and you guys need to talk to her. Is what he was saying. We'll have to go back and find it, but I was kind of like, whoa. And then he followed it up with and she knows the drinks are free, guys. Like, don't go hit on her.
Yeah,
and it was like, okay, dude.
That's kind of douchey. Not everyone is in love with the Timo girl.
Right, she's not really that hot, but anyways. So they've lit up 116 LTE markets, which is 157 million people, and they kind of bragged up. I think it was like their CTO or something was like, "We're kicking everyone's ass because we did this so fast," and we're like, "Okay, that is kind of fast."
he was pretty hyped when he came out on stage.
I think that was really great because I mean they just kind of snuck up with that number all of a sudden, and then boom. Yeah. And so I mean, basically, Sprint is like kicking and crying now, and I don't know. I mean, I guess technically now I live in an LTE or T-Mo LTE area, but I don't think I have a T-Mo phone that's on LTE. I'll have to try it out, but yeah, I don't know what to say about their LTE network yet. And of course, it's fast. There's like no one on it. Like it's very interesting. Like all the congestion talk and all the 10x10. The guy asked an actual technical question about LTE, and they just kind of like, like we're gonna Heisman you and sidestep this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with their network too is like their HSPA Plus is as fast as LTE. Not the upload, but the download is. So even for them to just go to a bumped LTE, that's really cool. But I don't know that you're going to see that much of a difference. The big thing that everyone has at T-Mobile is their coverage is terrible. Like you can go to places that Verizon has full service and T-Mo has like a bar. So that's the problem. They talk about how fast and rock solid their network is. And that's cool, but you need to have range on that network so everyone can use it.
Well, you can go to that place where T-Mo has like 1 bar of signal with a Sprint phone and absolutely have nothing. So you have to kind of like be grateful for what you do have.
That is true.
Sprint's
that is true. All right, so LTE. Oh, and they also said that they're going to be in 200 metropolitan areas by the end of the year, probably more. And that'll cover more than 200 million people. So T-Mobile, yeah, like you said, they came out of nowhere, and it's good to see. We need more LTE coverage. They also announced a new family plan, which is a family plan with 4 lines of unlimited talk, text, and web with 500 megabytes of high-speed data for $100 a month. That's a crazy deal. And then the last thing was they announced the Sony Xperia Z. And they're finally carrying it after all these years, months.
Who cares?
Yeah, if you're on T-Mobile, don't go buy that phone. There's so many good unlocked phones you can buy that are way better than that thing.
Yeah, please don't think that phone is impressive anymore. It used to be, but
yeah, it was at CES. At CES,
it was at CES. But yeah.
And we're now in July.
So. Registration just opened for next year's CES, so that means that phone is now irrelevant.
Yeah, it is pretty much. So, what do you guys think about T-Mobile? Was it a good show? Do you feel like they're a threat now? Did any of you guys have a chance to read through comments? I'm just wondering what people in the chat what they're saying, other than that I lost the sexist argument.
Yeah, I didn't read through the T-Mo comments, but I was there in the chat, and
oh, that's right.
I mean, it just seems that it's good, but then it's just like, oh, this is all great. Oh, except it's T-Mo. So I think it's all just the same old. Like once you get, sure, bring it to my town and then maybe I'll try it type thing. But then a lot of people were like, man, once my contract is up on Verizon, I'm jumping. And
I'll believe it when I see it on that one.
Exactly. I want to see those ratios, the port ratios he was talking about a few months after this is announced and all that.
I was having a talk with my parents, and my mom specifically brought up T-Mobile as somebody that she would consider switching to, if they dropped Verizon, because we just had to purchase a network extender to put in our house because the service is so god awful at their place.
Which the network extender is only 3G, right? We talked about that.
Yeah, it's not even LTE. So
what's the point?
Yeah. Right. I know.
Right.
Well, she works from home and she has to be able to make phone calls.
Yeah.
On her cell phone, so she has to have some signal. But
makes sense.
the fact, and apparently, she was on the phone with customer service for Verizon. They were like, yeah, apparently there's a lot of network extenders in that area. I'm like, well, maybe that's a sign you need to try and put up a tower. Because it's like a really dense part of a upscale neighborhood. I'm like,
get those people a cow. Those guys, it
Seriously.
sounds like they just need a cow.
yeah, just park one down the street.
I love the cows.
Yeah, those things put in work.
Randomly back on Moto stuff. Somebody sent me a link that says Kodak sold their patents to Apple, Google, and Microsoft. So if Google owns Kodak patents, that means Motorola does, essentially.
Yeah, definitely.
So there, we settled that. But yeah, T-Mobile, it was a good show. They had all kinds of numbers to throw out. Talked about people switching over to their network like crazy, especially once they got the iPhone. I just hope their network can hold up. And I wish they would focus. I'm glad they're focusing on building out LTE because that's what you need in the industry right now. I just wish they would build their network out so it's everywhere. I mean, like I was in Montana all last week, mostly for the 4th of July. I didn't even bring my Nexus 4, which I used on T-Mobile service, because I was like, I'm sure it's not going to work. Now, it could have. I don't know for sure. It could have jumped on an AT&T tower or something, but I didn't even want to risk it because it didn't used to work there. So, and I don't want to feel like I have to do that. Now, if I brought AT&T phones and Verizon phones and they were fine, but the T-Mobile one, I was like, I'm not even going to risk that.
Don't even bother.
I mean, that's really the difference between T-Mobile and Sprint and Verizon and AT&T is how is your coverage, outside of the big city limits? When you go driving on a highway somewhere, are you actually going to be able to have cell phone service, or are you just going to be out of luck until you hit another city?
Exactly. All right, cool. So yeah, T-Mobile doing big things. Let's talk about this LG G2, because damn, is it hot. So this was yesterday, right? There's been all sorts of good stuff popping up. So the LG G2 pops up at Engadget in this like gallery. It's not even really blurry cam. Like it's actually a decent set of pictures. Yeah,
that's not even close to blurry cam.
And this screen, we don't know the size yet. Everyone says it's like 5 to 5.2 somewhere in there inches. But it's like it takes up the whole front of the phone. Like it's edge to edge as you can get. There's not even that much top and bottom bezel, like chin and. It's pretty crazy. And it's got on-screen navigation buttons, which we know some people really hate, but these are cool because but these are really cool because they're like they made the background of them transparent, so the navigation buttons almost look like they're floating like on the home screen. And they did the same with the notification bar, so it kind of like everything's almost like floating on this display. And then when you went, I think they had a picture of the camera. And when you went into the camera, it like changed the background color of those and stuff. So, but what was it? It was a back, home, and menu button, not a multitask, right? It was a menu. Yeah. So, and then like shortly after, but the pictures also confirmed that the volume rocker's on the back as well as the power switch, which is located in between. I don't think we know the camera sensor size, but then like an hour after that went, like a video got posted to YouTube.
Full video, hands-on exclusive.
Yeah, hands-on minute video of the phone in action. And of course, it's running a Snapdragon 800, and so it's crazy fast.
That baby's fast.
Yeah, and LG looks like they've done some stuff to their UI to not make it quite as terrible as it used to be. Like they've definitely evolved it over the last couple of years. Like it wasn't terrible on the Optimus G.
It still looks somewhat terrible. Like, I mean, it definitely looks better.
Still, yeah.
It looks better, but then again, it looks so much more like TouchWiz in the sense that it's kind of refined. But, I mean, look at that. So it has, like, that square, like, Yahoo widget. It's got the Google search bar right under it. I mean, that's stock TouchWiz right there. And, and then I'm looking at it. I'm rewatching it, and it's hot. But then again, it just looks like it reminds me a lot of TouchWiz. And then so when you pull down the notification and like all that crap takes up half of your screen, I wouldn't be able to stand that. So there needs to be a Google Play edition of this bad boy, and then I'll be happy.
Did you notice that their icons are totally like the like skeuomorphic iPhone stuff where they look like a little binder and they've done some bad things, but the device itself looks crazy cool.
Yeah, I think this device might be the one I'm most excited for.
Speakers on the bottom, headphone jack on the bottom.
Headphone jack on top.
Oh.
Because we saw the bottom, and all I saw was a micro USB on the bottom. I was like, dude,
headphone jack on the bottom. Pretty sure.
Oh man.
It's just to the there's one picture with like the phone face down.
Yeah.
And it shows the 2 speakers, and you can see the headphone jack there too, which is like super win in our book. But
right. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes.
To the right. Yep.
Yeah. So
It's thin.
there's an event on August 7th, and LG's essentially teased it, but they admitted it's going to be the G2, and Tim's going to be there, so we'll have our hands all over this bad boy.
Yep, I'm nervous.
We don't know where it's going. I talked to
the G1 didn't go to Verizon, right?
I don't think so. No.
No, they got all the Spectrum crap instead.
Verizon's only gotten the hand-me-down crap LG devices. Yeah, they haven't ever had they didn't get like the Optimus G or the Optimus G Pro.
They haven't had any LG flagship phones since the Voyager, so let's just put it that way.
Damn.
The Voyager.
The Voyager.
I think that's
memories.
LG's problem. Is it's the same thing about Sony. Is they make good stuff, and they tease it, but it either doesn't come to America, or when it does, it comes late. And then when it does come,
to the wrong carriers. Yeah.
Totally. So we've got a couple of pretty good LG sources, and one of them said that he's pretty sure they're going to try to push it to all 4 carriers, just like everyone is, which is the smart thing to do. If you got a flagship, you got to push it to all 4. If they can pull that off, I'm not really sure, because HTC couldn't even do it with the 1. We're still waiting on Verizon. So, and I don't know that LG has any more pull than HTC, so I would expect AT&T and Sprint for sure. And actually, this model that leaked was Sprint's. T-Mobile, they seem pretty open to most anything these days. I would be surprised if it didn't go there. I just think Verizon's the question, which we all want to know. Is this thing going to go to Verizon or not? So, but I don't know. What else is there to say about it? It just looks really cool. LG's, I think someone even just said in the chat, LG's come a long way in the past year, and I would 100% agree.
Oh, they used to be the, no offense, redheads, but they used to be the redheaded stepchild of the mobile world. Everything they did, just everything they touched turned to crap. So.
Yeah, I mean, they were hanging out with Huawei. It's bad news.
ZTE.
ZTE, Huawei, and LG.
Yeah. They were hanging out. Oh, man.
So, yeah. I don't really want to talk about Nexus 5 rumors. There was one that came out today out of Korea or something that said this is the reference for the Nexus 5. I don't really want to go there yet. Those rumors are just so wishy-washy. If this was the Nexus 5, I'd be fine with that. It looks beautiful, but I don't think we really need to go there yet, do we?
No, but I actually kind of see those panning out somewhat. Just because, it's a good-looking phone, so who knows?
Yeah, well, and Google did give Samsung 2 Nexus phones in a row. Maybe they'll do the same with LG. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we got a little ways to go. Look out October for that probably going down.
Yeah.
All right, so just quickly, the Google Play Edition phones. I've got them both here.
Hands on.
Here's the Galaxy S4. Look how pretty that is with the stock. It's pretty awesome. And then
it's pretty hot.
And then I have the one's in a box. I have another one, but I packaged it up already. This is the one I just got today, so
Ooh.
In a box. Yeah. Anyways, they're really nice. But Tim and I were talking earlier, and you kind of feel a little cheated. They're $599 and $650, and that's how much the regular HTC and Galaxy S4 are. But those have all these.
You're not even getting as much for your money. That's the issue.
Right.
That proprietary stuff should cost money, basically.
Yeah, when you bought the Sense and TouchWiz version, you feel like you're paying for all the enhancements they threw in, and these don't have any of that. So you feel like you should get a discount, and they're not doing that. So I guess my initial impressions with the one, I had that for the first few days and was yeah, this is sweet. It's got stock, and I don't miss the regular one all that much. And then I got the Galaxy S4 today, and I don't really want to use the one. Stock Android actually feels a lot better on the Galaxy S4 for some reason than it did on the one. I don't really know how I can explain that. Maybe because the Galaxy S4 feels better in hand to me at this point, just because it's a smaller device with a bigger screen. The HTC One in hand just feels it feels big. And it's got giant bezel all over the place. And while it's got really cool build materials and stuff, I keep fighting with myself for the last few months over whether or not I like it or don't like it. And right now, because I have the Galaxy S4 with stock Android, I'm sort of liking the Galaxy S4 a little bit more. But
Boom
sound. I know we'll kind of do some sort of I missed boom sound already actually. We'll do some sort of not really review because all we're talking about is software. Yeah, you can't really review it. So we'll do some camera comparisons so you guys can see the TouchWiz versus stock Android and Sense versus stock Android. We'll do that. We'll probably put together like a just overall view of the idea of Google Play Editions, and that'll come within the next week or so. But yeah, we've got them in hand. So if you guys have questions and stuff, feel free to either email us or drop them in the comments of those 2 unboxings we did. So, you guys have anything to say about Google Play Editions? Do you want one?
Well, I think it's interesting that you guys bring up the point that you're like not getting the system like enhancements that come packaged in the bloatware that we hate. You know, I don't know. I keep thinking my thoughts about this are Google is giving us exactly what we've been asking for years.
And now we hate it.
And now we hate it. And we're like, man, I really wish we had all that stuff that they throw on there and make it crappy.
A lot of the hate.
I just think it's interesting.
A lot of the hate that we used to give skins is because the skins weren't as refined, I think, as they are now. Like
true. People have come a long way.
Yeah, like TouchWiz, you know, I actually don't mind that much. Moto Blur's not in question here, but Sense has kind of come a long way. I mean, all of the skins have really come a long way since we were talking crap 2 years ago or some odd. So, and plus, I mean, Samsung has done so much stuff with all their proprietary stuff, like all that camera stuff and the software stuff. I mean, it actually makes a really good phone. So, so when you take away the stuff that we actually do like in the skin, not just the actual, it's the look we don't like, not the functionality. So when you take away that added functionality, that's the only part I think that we're complaining about, not so much the look. Yeah. So. But yeah, I see what you're saying. We will never be happy because we're Android fanboys and blah, blah, blah.
We always want more.
And it's too expensive. Everything is way too expensive.
Everything is too expensive.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, but I had a point. I lost it. Damn
it.
I do like the Galaxy S4 though with stock Android. It feels like it, like I think I said, it fits better. But like with Sense, like I almost feel like the HTC One might be slightly better with Sense. I know that's going to sound really weird, but their whole device was built around Sense, and like they totally changed Sense this time. And I don't actually mind it that much. I mean, you guys know I admitted that I actually like Blink Feed, which is embarrassing as hell. But yeah, so I almost feel like just after a few days, HTC Sense actually belongs on the One rather than stock. The Galaxy S4, I think you could probably go either way. Just because I'm the opposite of you, Tim. I can't stand TouchWiz. I think it's like the ugliest thing known to man. Like it still looks like gingerbread to me.
It's ugly. Like every time I see this thing, like the whole control panel, like that, and like so they let you edit it, but they don't let you remove anything or hide anything like that.
You can move them around, but you can't take them away.
Definitely the ugliest thing in the smartphone world today. But, I mean, other than that, I can pretty much hide almost everything from TouchWiz beyond that, just with a custom launcher and stuff like that.
Except the dialer, you can't hide that ugly, atrocious thing.
No, you can't. All right, so there's a lot of things I can't hide. But
like, you can make your home screen look pretty, and you can make the app drawer look pretty, and change all the icons and stuff.
Yeah, so I tried to make mine look kind of like a Google Play edition, just with the wallpaper, but, I mean, you just can't really go much further than that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's tough. Yeah, I'll try to hopefully have some more thoughts on that when I've spent more time with them in the next, like I said, few days or week. But yeah, we got what we've been asking for, and now we're like, do we really want this? Like, or do we want the like enhancements that they're doing? I feel like if we got this like 2 years ago, like if we got the Galaxy S2 and we had a stock option, we would have all been like, hell
my
yes.
God.
But
that
now, like these
phone in history of everything.
Yeah. It would have been, and now that like Samsung and HTC, while you may or not like you may or may not like the look of the skins and stuff, they're actually innovating on the software front finally after all these years. So it does, again, that's why it feels a little bit like you're getting a terrible deal when you buy these stock ones because all that stuff's wiped out. But it's the price you pay, I guess, for stock Android, which is kind of weird to say.
I think it opens it up to an interesting thought of where we could go down the road, is where maybe we're getting to the point where Google can ship a stock phone and then we can just take bits and pieces of launchers and stuff that we want from carriers and install them. If we wanted the Samsung camera software, we could upload it onto the Google Play Edition phone that we got. I don't know. I highly doubt that'll happen, but I think that's an interesting thought of, and you've seen Google doing it by separating out the stock Android keyboard and the stock camera app and that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
I want, yeah, a Frankenstein phone. That would be quite nice.
Well, the ultimate idea would be Samsung goes, here's the Galaxy S4, and when you first boot it, you go, do I want TouchWiz or do you want stock Android? And then if you want to switch between the two, you could just like format, factory reset your phone and then choose another one. That's what they need to do. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but that would be nice. So you could have a choice, is what it should be, but we'll see. So anyways, yeah, we'll have more on those later. So just really quickly, I want to talk about bootloaders for a second because we're back to talking about bootloaders. So the Razr HD, Razr M, and then essentially all of the Galaxy S4 variants on carriers, well, outside of maybe T-Mobile's, they all have new updates, and all of the updates patch the bootloader and root exploits that Dan Rosenberg put together. So if you have one of those phones, Razr HD, Razr Max HD, Razr M, Galaxy S4 on Verizon, AT&T, or Sprint, don't update if you don't want to like lose all of that freedom that you once had because they patched it. So that's happening right now. If you already updated, I'm sorry, you're probably screwed.
I had to sign a couple White House petitions to get them to stop the update.
Stop it. That's really funny. So yeah, that's happening, and it's just I made a comment on Twitter yesterday and said, stop buying carrier phones, and we got a little bit of backlash for it. But what I'm saying is, if you want to not have to deal with bootloaders being locked and every update having to work around it, and then waiting for Dan Rosenberg to unlock it for you because nobody else apparently can do it.
One man in the world.
Yeah, stop buying carrier phones. Like, you need to break yourself of a contract and start buying unlocked phones or dev editions. Like, there's a Verizon dev edition Galaxy S4 that doesn't have a locked bootloader. Like, you do have some choices. Yes, they're expensive. That's just where we are at this day and age, I guess. Well, it sucks, but that's what's going on.
Yeah, it's the hobby we chose, and it's an expensive one.
It is a very expensive hobby.
If we all chose to be talking about like RC planes, then it wouldn't be such a big deal because we expect them to be expensive. But no. Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so bootloaders. It's very frustrating. I forgot that they still existed until I bricked the Razr HD. So I was like, that's right, bootloaders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those things.
Yeah, you can't just easily fix things when your bootloader is all locked up. So, how about the new Google Maps? Did you guys all load that up?
I did.
Google Maps?
Yes, I most certainly did.
So new Google Maps is out, and it is it's quite pretty. It's good. It's a good looking app. As many of you noticed, though, offline maps are sort of hidden. You can like go into the search bar and type in OK Maps, and it'll like save the area you're looking at. Though that's not intuitive at all. They'll probably fix that later. But so offline maps, people notice were gone, but they are back. And Latitude though is like officially gone. So if you're a big Latitude user, you have to migrate on over to Google Plus because that's where they've sort of moved that. Latitude's dying on the 9th, but it's already gone from the app, so you can't even use it in there. I guess you could. Is there even a web interface for Latitude? Like, how else do you use it besides through the map?
Who even uses Latitude? To be honest,
apparently a lot of people. I know. I was wondering the same thing, but apparently people are pissed that Latitude's going away.
We were getting a few emails about that.
Yeah,
we were
getting coming in all day.
About it.
Yeah, well, so Google sent out emails to everyone today to address it that said, like if you're a Latitude user, you got an email, and it says, like, we're killing it August 9th. And I don't know, Tim, what do we have, like 15, 20 people sent that to us? They were like, look, Latitude's dying.
Latitude, no!
Yeah.
I was like, what's Latitude?
Yeah. But so those are the two major bad things. But the rest of the app is, like, gorgeous. There's this little slide-out menu down at the bottom left. But it's just got, like, when you don't have the menu, all you have is, like, all map and a little, like, GPS or whatever location button. And then you have the search bar, which also has a navigation button in it and a profile button. And when you tap on the search, you get, like, previous locations and nearby stuff. If you tap on the navigation button, you get shortcuts to, like, your home and work if they're in there. It's real. I don't know. It's just beautifully done, I think. Oh, and it has, like, live traffic, too. If you're driving now and using navigation, it'll, like, automatically tell you new routes and stuff. Like, it does some really cool stuff.
It's probably the greatest app of all time. I've always thought that Google always put so much energy and effort into maps, and they've completely outdone themselves with this one. Like, I loaded up last night when it dropped, and I was at the store, and I was like, yeah, I can like use maps because I'm not at home right now, and I'll just like try it out. And it was like the best experience I think I've ever had. I mean, it's gorgeous, and I love using Google Maps online and all that stuff. I really love the refresh. It's exactly what it needed. It's beautiful, intuitive, and that's it. The end. You can't argue with that.
Pretty much.
The end.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful damn app.
How about the ability in settings to just be able to change your home and work addresses like on the fly? Like for me, that was always like a problem. And then they also have you can go to your Maps history and like just every search you've ever done. Like there's just some like really cool things that they added which should have like been there, and you didn't really think you needed until you needed it, and you're like, crap, where is it? So
they were things that were there, but they were really hard to find and not really that easy to manage. Yeah, and now they're all really easy, and we just need offline maps to become easier. Oh, the My Maps section is gone, but they said they're bringing that back. But like discovering things now is really easy, and it has this really cool UI that's kind of card-ish, Google Now-ish almost.
Man.
Oh, but of course it's under staged rollout, so if you didn't download it from us, you probably don't have it yet because they probably haven't pushed it to everyone's phone. In fact, this Galaxy S4, I'm actually installing it right now on this Google Play Edition. Like I had an update for Google Maps, and it wasn't even the update, so I'm now like having to manually install it.
Well, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Didn't Google end up buying Waze last week or the week before that?
Yeah, they did buy Waze. I know. So I don't really know. We'll see what happens with that.
There's going to be another update to Google Maps coming within the next year or so.
Yeah, I mean, they said the reason they bought that was to make Maps even better than ever. So, should be sweet. Yeah, so new Google Maps. Great job, Google, once again.
It's legit.
And while we're on Google app subjects, though, just really quickly, Hangouts now has phone calls in it through Gmail, through the Chrome app, and through Google+. So it's coming to Google Voice. Like they said it again in the announcement for that. That Hangouts is still going to be the future of Google Voice. We're just waiting for that to happen so we can finally get rid of the Google Voice app forever. But yeah, that happened. It's kind of cool. You can make calls. You can actually make calls and do video hangouts. So you can like talk to somebody while everybody else is doing a video hangout, which is kind of sweet. Pretty cool idea.
Now, if only they would fix Hangouts on air, then everything would be great.
Yeah, poor Dave.
Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, Dave. All right, moving out of there, let's talk really quickly. Verizon is raising prices of the extended warranty and total equipment coverage by $1 and a penny. So
how dare they?
Yeah. So starting July 25th, if you're a new customer,
start the petitions.
Yeah.
White House petition.
Yeah. So starting July 25th, if you're a new customer or you're new to the coverage, it's $3 per month for the extended warranty, or $8 now for total equipment coverage. If you're already enrolled in it, your price won't change until September 26th. So keep that in mind. They want another couple of bucks from you every single month, which is not surprising. It's Verizon.
God, they just keep milking me.
Milking you. Yeah. All right, do you guys want to talk about some apps or games? I unfortunately have none, but I know you guys have some.
You have no apps or games?
I'll think of one.
All right. Eric, take it away.
So I got turned on to this app called Grand Street, and I don't know what the name has to do with anything, but the app is basically a shopping app where they put these cool technology pieces and put it in this app with great navigation, awesome pictures. You basically just get to look at these cool pieces of technology and just obsess over them when these high quality pictures, and the app moves smoothly. It's compatible with all Android devices. It's even got a special tablet layout, so if you're on a tablet, the pictures show up bigger. And then once you have drooled over this stuff enough, you can go ahead and just buy it straight from the app, and it'll send it to you right from the app. The one that I was looking at today was there was this really cool clock. I don't know if you guys have downloaded the app, but they have this. It's like old 1920s like display clock in a tube, and it just looks really cool. So I'd suggest checking it out. I don't know if I'll ever buy anything from there because I'm a poor college student and I don't have any money. But
Okay,
I'm just
here
gonna
we go with
enjoy.
the Android user excuses.
No, it's not a poor Android user. It's a poor college user.
Fine.
So, but I'm just gonna keep checking back because the way they present the products is just so cool. It's fun to go through and browse and just look at the stuff they have, even if you're not buying anything. So,
Yeah, so I downloaded Grand Street maybe like last week or something. I tried it out. I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then I noticed that Grand Street is actually just kind of like a marketplace for crap off of Kickstarter that no one really wants to buy.
really,
So, like,
Wait, what?
I had no clue they were affiliated with.
no. I'm not saying they're affiliated. I'm just saying, like, I saw a few things that were off of Kickstarter that were on Grand Street, and I was like, oh, right, because this is the only place they could probably sell this stuff. Like, for example, now don't get me wrong, this product is fantastic and I endorse it. But, like, so it's called Charge Card, and basically it's like a little micro USB to like a USB adapter thing you stick in your wallet. Like it's a neat little product, and it was on Grand Street, and I was like, it's a good spot for like Grand, but it's stuff like that. It's like little tech things that are just like it's off of Kickstarter and it's
What's it
weird
called?
stuff.
The Android chargers are on there.
Oh, the Andrew stuff or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they
Those
on
little
there?
USB chargers are on there. They're on there today. So
I don't like the marketing of the Android character like that. Like, I think he's cute and stuff, but I don't care for the mascot buying into. I don't know. I'm a weird guy, dude. Never mind.
Are you
Never
saying that we
mind.
shouldn't have a Droid Life mascot, Tim?
I've always said we should not have a little Android buddy mascot.
We're never going to have a Droid mascot. Ever. You can mark that down.
Have a little pink guy. Yeah, because he would need to be pink, which is the unfortunate part, and there's no way. Either way, it's a very nice looking app. So good work, Eric.
Grand Street.
Yeah, Grand
I'll take a
Street.
look.
It's ST, not like written out, just ST.
But if you search Grand Street, it'll come up. So.
This is true. This is true. Someone mentioned in the chat Granny Smith 2. Oh man, now that game, I'd pay whatever price for.
Except it's not. I mean, like, is Evan the gamer like trolling us? Like that thing.
Oh yeah, he's definitely trolling, but that would be the most amazing Christmas present of all time.
Please bring us Granny Smith 2. Granny's back.
Yep. I got two apps to talk about. I'll be quick. My first one is Crazy Taxi. Just launched onto Android. Yeah, if you had like an old console, as Eric mentioned in his post,
Not
then
the Dreamcast.
yeah, you
Love
knew
me some
about Crazy
Dreamcast.
Taxi. So what an easy concept. You know, you just pick somebody up, drive them to where you want to go, bash and jump stuff. I mean, that's
blow everything off the street.
yeah, it's just
along the
fun.
way.
So Crazy Taxi, although huge downfall, $5 price tag, and being an Android user, I paid, but I was reluctant, and
I thought about it.
and I had buyer's remorse like right after I bought it. But
Nice.
okay, so here's like one of oh wait man, never mind. I'll talk about that later when I probably can. But has to do with Shield and like certain games you buy, but I'll get into that later. So either way, I bought it.
Can't talk about Shield, Tim.
I know, I want to. So yeah, $5 for the game. It's steep, but it's a good game. I mean, and the graphics are still just the same as they were in like 2000, whatever, long time ago. So yeah, there's that. Crazy Taxi. My second game is called Kavinsky. Kavinsky is a French, I always said techno, but I guess technically it's not techno, it's like house music. And he did some of the soundtrack for the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, like one of my favorite movies. Me and
It
Matthias
is an awesome movie.
Matthias Duarte bond over that. And so either way, he did the soundtrack. So I didn't know he was like making his own game. And it just dropped, and it kind of reminds me, just the way it looks, each character is like, it's animated, and it has like a black border. It kind of gives off a Borderlands look. It's actually really neat. It's free to play. You play as Kavinsky, and you just go around beating up like punk people and police officers for some reason. I don't know why. I thought he was a good guy. But And then, like, when you're not running around through a level beating someone up, you're driving a Ferrari Testarossa, and it's like, it looks like Tron because the tail lights are leaving, like, the red glares and all this stuff. And it's a really well-done app, and I thought they were going to easily charge, like, $1 for it or something, but it's free.
It's free?
And, of course, they link you to, like, buy the new album because this new album's totally awesome. You should check it out. But overall, it's pretty fun. It's Kavinsky. I'll put a link for it in the thing. But, yeah, it's pretty fun. Check it out.
Kavinsky. Have we talked about Rockmelt, that app that came out a few weeks ago? Did we ever talk about that on air?
I don't think so.
That's my app, Rockmelt. Okay. So
that's the browser, the Facebook browser thing.
Yeah, so they released an Android app, and it's like different. They had to rework their whole model. So I've talked about how I like stupid blink feed on Sense. So Rockmelt is like Sense, or I mean like blink feed, but you can have it on any device because it like basically you load it up and it's kind of a browser, but you just tell it subjects you want. Like I could put in like sports and like food and locations and shoes or something, and then it's like this infinite feed of like dumb internet crap that's gone on throughout the day that like I would find fascinating. And like I've installed it on all my devices now, and for some reason I go to Rockmelt like every night when I'm like ready to go to bed, just read dumb internet crap. I don't know why I love it, but I do. Rockmelt, which is another embarrassing thing to say.
I think at one point they released their own browser with that.
Well,
they did.
Exactly. So I was using that browser back when it was still in beta, and I loved it because I was like, man, because I could actually talk with my Facebook people, my contacts right through the browser, and I didn't have to be on the Facebook page. So I thought it was like groundbreaking, revolutionary, fantastic, gorgeous. But then I stopped using it, and I tried out the app.
And then everyone realized they wanted to go back to Chrome and started using Chrome again.
Oh, right. This actually has no functionality. Going back to Chrome now.
Yeah.
But
cool. The Android app, I don't know, I like it. And it's kind of silly, but it's just you can just consume like internet content like crazy. And you can share it. And there's like communities and stuff on there, I think. Like you can I don't need to go into it anymore. Download Rockmail, it's free.
Sounds like all the stuff you should be doing on Google Plus. Except you hate Google Plus.
Yeah, except I don't like Google Plus. I don't not like Google Plus. I just don't have time for Google Plus.
No, you don't like Google Plus. It's okay to say.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Like the design and the app of Google Plus is one of the coolest services ever. Like for photos and all that stuff, and like Hangouts. This stuff's really cool. But I don't have the time for it because first of all, I have to go find people that are awesome on Google Plus that actually share crap, and that takes way too much time. And then I have to like put them all in circles so I'm not just flooded with crap. And then in order to like really get into it, I have to like write up like 2,000 word opinion pieces on some subject every day to get all these people to comment and +1. It's just too like I don't have time. Like when I'm done doing Droid Life stuff for the day, I want like dumb entertainment.
It seems like on Google, it seems like the most popular stuff on Google Play are developers or someone like complaining or just ranting about something nonsensical or whatever. Exactly. And that's not our style, clearly.
Yeah.
We don't rant on stuff all day long.
Like,
we have a whole
Google
site
Plus
to rant. We don't need Google Plus.
That's right. And I'm glad that people are using it and find it really awesome. And I get on there every once in a while and just kind of dink around and look at stuff, but I just don't have time to like fully invest. Rockmelt is my dumb quick hit stuff.
What's great about Google Plus, I think, is that since it integrated with Gmail and all that, you know, whenever we get emails and like we can actually kind of see who it's from, so it's not just so much like a faceless email that we're getting for, you know, it like we can like it brings a personal sense to like anonymous people, and it's kind of nice, you know. And in the professional world, like if it's linked into like a LinkedIn account, then that's also quite nice. It has its ups and downs. It has its advantages. That's what I mean.
It does. Well, I do like the new notification syncing and the little bell logo because I see the little bell lighting up all the time, and I actually do check it for notifications. So I find myself using it a little bit more, but
because of the bell, little bell
because
guy.
of that damn bell, yeah.
Damn bell.
Brilliant bell.
Just
all right. Let's bust through some quick hitters and call it a night, huh?
All right.
The Verizon HTC One is at the FCC. Woohoo!
Congratulations.
Oh, we got a press shot of it from EvLeaks too. It looks just like the HTC One you guys have all seen. We still don't know when it's coming. I don't know how much I care anymore. Like it's been so long. It feels like. Eric, you want the HTC One? What are you still thinking now?
It's going to be a good day where I can stand at the Verizon store and have the Moto X in one hand and the HTC One in the other, and I can make a decision because those are going to be the two phones that I'm going to be deciding between.
Except one of those devices should have been released like months ago.
Oh, well, yeah. So, like, I mean, I should have the HTC One in my hand right now. HTC has lost a guaranteed sale by, well, I don't know if that was HTC's fault. It could have been Verizon's.
Probably not their fault.
I could have had that, dead set right now if it was out of Verizon. But now that Motorola has snuck into the game, I'm gonna have a nice little choice. So.
I seriously wonder how many sales of the One HTC lost because they weren't on Verizon. Like people that walked in and said like, I want the HTC One, and they were like, we don't have that. Here's the Galaxy S4, and they went, okay, and Samsung just made it.
Or here's the DNA.
Yeah.
No.
They could go there too.
So
not that the DNA is a bad phone, but yeah.
No, 1080p. Yeah, it's not.
My friend is a mechanic, and he had a Droid 2 back in the day, and God knows how bad the Droid 2 was. It turned so many people to iPhones. I watched, and he was one of them. So he got an iPhone, and then he saw the HTC One, and he was like, "Oh man, I really want that phone. Is it coming to Verizon?" And I was like, "It's coming, but it's not here yet." And then
it's coming.
Samsung, and he's a mechanic. He does a lot of work throughout the day. Samsung goes and announces the S4 Active, and he really wants that because that'd be perfect for him.
Yep.
And he is like, "Is that coming to Verizon?" I was like, "No, that's never coming to Verizon."
Exclusive AT&T.
And he took to Twitter and started bugging Verizon on Twitter about it. Asking them if it was ever going to come.
I'm sure they'll totally.
They didn't answer at first, and they were like, "Well, we don't have information on the S4 Active, but here's information on the S4." And I was like,
Great.
It's just
"You idiots! I don't want this."
So
yeah, it'll never come, but it's nice.
Yeah, Verizon's had a terrible year in terms of devices. They've got nothing.
What have they released this year besides the S4?
That's it.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's it. And then we're going to get 4 Motorola phones at once and the HTC One.
God.
And hopefully the G2. So then they're going to get flooded, and
then the Note 3.
At least we'll have choices.
And
then the Note 3. Although they'll be like 4 months late with the Note 3. They'll get it like at Christmas, and everyone else in October.
It takes time to put their brand on it, et cetera, et cetera. It's not easy, Kellen.
What's even more shocking?
A lot of man hours go into that.
This is the year where everybody on Galaxy Nexus upgrades are waiting for phones, and they don't have
Pretty
anything.
big year, yeah.
The S4, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. It's done.
Yeah, that should be fun so in terms of like Droid life and the wave the site kind of goes on, like when we started, everyone had the OG Droid and they were locked into that for 2 years. And then once that was done, the Galaxy Nexus was available. So like everyone from stock OG Droid Android to then stock Nexus device, and now they're all coming due again. And they're not going to have a stock Android choice, which is going to be kind of sad and probably weird for a lot of those people to kind of go through. But
it's a very interesting evolution. And then you got those people who are either on like a Droid X or the Thunderbolt or something like that. It's just so weird. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
That'd be kind of cool to sit down and like make a chart of like the 2-year cycles. So the OG Droid people most went to the Galaxy Nexus, and then they went to this. People who started off on the Droid X went to the Thunderbolt, I'm assuming, and then something else.
No, the Droid X people are good. I guess they were.
It was a little bit after the OG Droid, I want to say.
They were last summer. They were 2012. So I don't know what came out in 2012.
I think that would be interesting to sit down and like make that out visually.
Yeah, that would be
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe that'll be a feature here sometime soon on Droid Life.
Okay, you figure that out.
Yeah, you go ahead and get to that.
Right.
So other quick things, AT&T has July 16th announcement to make. They said they're going to bring what's next in wireless or something like that. Yeah, they said get ready for what's next in wireless. And it's not necessarily an event. They just said get ready. So they're going to announce something. Maybe it's LTE Advanced, for all we know. Maybe.
That's probably what it is, but that's also what it sounded like when Verizon was telling us to come to Las Vegas.
We got Viva.
Yeah.
Viva!
So
that is what's next. Well, yeah, who knows? Maybe she's partnering with AT&T now, too. Because modern Latinos need to choose between what carrier there's.
Yeah, they do. They need to have some choice.
Modern Latinos love choices. Jesus. Let's just hope they don't announce Viva Mobile is bringing in AT&T as well.
Oh God!
Yikes.
This guy said he started off on the Droid Charge and then went to the DNA. Rest in peace.
Oh man! Oh, everyone's
DNA,
doing
I like the
everyone's doing what they've gone to. Keep doing that in the comments there. We got an OG Droid to the Razr Max. That probably happened for sure, yeah. Because the Razr Max came out right before the Galaxy Nexus.
Yeah.
Interesting. Jelly Bean numbers are out. It is finally the #1 version of Android.
#1.
Woo! Clap.
After all this time.
That's really sad. That's kind of a sad statistic.
It is.
It's depressing. Fragmentation.
Yeah, what's it at? It's at 38%. And it jumped gingerbread because gingerbread was still #1 for all these months and years. Gingerbread is now down to 34%. Ice cream sandwich dropped to 23 because that's just people upgrading to Jelly Bean. So, but yeah, Jelly Bean #1.
Right.
What, a year later? Year and a half later?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's kind of embarrassing. Yeah. All right, so last thing then, White Nexus 4 is gone for good. So if you wanted a White Nexus 4, it's sold out of the Play Store. They've actually removed it from the Play Store. It doesn't say like out of inventory. It's like gone. You can't even see the pages for it anymore. So that's gone. So if you want a White Nexus 4,
sorry.
Nope. And yeah, that's kind of all I got. Anything else you guys got going on?
No, good to go.
Yeah, I feel like that was a lot.
That was quite a bit. Oh,
so,
what is that all about? People in the chat getting all sorts
Sterling, that's rude.
Real rude.
Pretty funny, though. Pretty funny.
I do believe we'll have a show next week. Pretty sure we're going to be back.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, yeah. There's no holiday.
Yeah, no holiday or anything. We should be back next week. So join us next week. That's all I got. If you guys don't have anything, we'll just cut her off.
Cut it.
Show.
Sorry to Dave for Hangouts not working properly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. Still love you.
Unfortunate.
Catch you next week. And yeah, anyways, all right. We're out of here. Peace.
Droid
Life Show, episode 30.
in the books.